And so being left alone most of the time in childhood, right? And so, you know, that must have been difficult, right?
Yeah.
Loneliness, right? Among other things. I'm just thinking as I read a sheet, and I forgot to ask you what to talk about and what to not to talk about. Is it okay?
It's okay. Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Before I blurt
It's
everything
okay, it's
out,
okay.
you can tell me?
Let me check. It's okay. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And see, because parents were very busy, caregivers were very busy, right? Making enough money to live, right? That's
Yeah.
what you write. So it's unfortunate, you know. Yeah, there was some difficulty around the birth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get to the symptoms. Yeah. So it is hard to relate to people. You have to try hard to engage them, right? Your natural tendency would be just to go back into your shell.
Yeah.
Right, so, yeah. And that's a symptom. That's difficult. Yeah. Because we get much of our energy on a daily basis through the social nutrition of contact with other people. People who have that find it easier. They don't, and people who don't do that don't realize that they're having a harder life. Because what they can get from others, they have to mobilize from within themselves. Right? Right. You know, I was in India, no? My sister's granddaughter, she's a smart one, 5 years old. And I was trying to put something into a bag, and she came and said she wanted to help. And I said, no, I'll do it myself. And she looks at me in the eyes and says, she calls me Grandpa, no? Grandpa, isn't it life easier when people help each other? I was just stunned. Okay. So teachers come in all sizes, no? So contact actually makes it easier. And one of the things that they know from research is that, they observe people when they go from home to school, right, children. And they note down the interactions, number of interactions the child has with people from the time they leave home by the time they go into the classroom. That's all they did. And there are children who had many contacts, but deep contacts. They could see that they were engaging them more. And there were children who were not engaging them at all, right? Right? And then there were children who were engaging other people, but, distant, right? You know the way to do it, right?
Yeah.
It turns out then they also looked at the risk factors of the three groups of children. Who's more likely to get ill? Who's more likely to have problems with studies? Who's more likely to have problems, relationship issues? Not only then, but little later in life. Guess what? The children who have the most meaningful contacts were at least risk for physical problems, cognitive problems in relation to studying, as well as what? Relationship problems. So this is a necessity, right? So we can always improve, we can all improve, right? So it's a good thing to work with, right? So when even social talk becomes difficult, then it's not good, But there's a good reason for it. We are all social, we are designed to feed off each other socially, right? The only reason when we don't do that is because it causes some distress in us that it was caused so early that we think that it's better not to, right? The old vulnerability is real. Like it could be, if you're traumatized in the womb, you can kill me. Anything can kill me. Anybody can kill me. You can kill me. It could be that. But it could be that it could also be when you are not paid attention to. As children, we start to think that we are not worthy of what? Being paid attention to. Yeah? So then, if we make contact, if we don't make contact, at least we don't have to bring it up. But when we make contact, we feel what? Right? We feel what? The shame. Right? Then it's better not to what? Make contact. So you can think of it as shame. Right? It's a kind of shame. Not feeling good enough. Right? I know that because I suffered from it too. And it's like when you really open your heart to somebody, then you really feel that you're shitty. You see the problem? Then you project it on the other person that they perceive you as what? Not worthy. And then what? Don't even approach them or don't call them back. Does it make sense? But they can also sense that. You know how they sense it? When I'm really feeling not worthy, I'm feeling bad about myself. Somebody who wants to really relate to me, they're resonating with me. They're feeling bad because you're feeling bad. Then they say, this relationship doesn't feel good. Does it make sense? It can be a self-fulfilling prophecy that way. Right? So when we have this kind of shame, not feeling good, that's a good thing to work with. Like the fear of dying, that I'm not worthy, that I'm bad, is a good emotion to work with, because ultimately it is only an emotion in the body. It is not a reality. And if I can develop a capacity for it, not only can I control it, to make contact, to counter it, but I can also help other people, my clients, work with it. Right? Because if it comes up in my clients, then I might have a difficult time resonating with it if I don't have a capacity for it. So I thought, for that reason, even though you've written, you feel scared, fear, right? That's one thing. Fear of contact, fear of rejection, and so on. I thought we could work with the third symptom that you have written, the feeling that you're not deserving, why do we not dare to ask for something? Because we think that we don't deserve it. What does that mean? That somebody else is of more worth than I am in relation to that person. You know the feeling?
Yeah.
So perhaps we could focus on that. Not that you don't have to work with fear of rejection, but that is something that, you can work with it in the same way, right?
Yeah.
So, shall we give it an attempt? Yeah. Now, does this come up between you and your husband?
Not worthy?
That suddenly you feel you're not worthy?
No.
No. Right. You have
I think I'm worthy.
You will hit up. What?
I think I'm worthy.
Oh, good.
Because I trust him.
Oh,
Yeah,
wonderful,
yeah,
wonderful.
yeah.
So that's important. If you have one relationship like that, it can actually heal you. Right? And when you have that, then it's easier to work on a deeper level with the wound that gets triggered. In relation to whom does it get triggered mostly? Like in your life today, at work, for example.
Maybe
or
at work.
Yeah, at work, yeah.
Maybe people outside my my family, my sphere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But can you think of one person,
one person.
one situation in which you suffer from sudden drop in self-esteem? That's what it is, right? Suddenly feel that, oh, you're less than.
I had a terrible boss last year,
Yeah,
and she's just terrible.
terrible, yeah.
Yeah, and she's just very critical, and whatever you do something to meet her expectation, she just point at the picking another things that she thinks is not good.
So the glass is always half
Yeah.
empty, no?
Yeah,
Or almost empty.
almost empty, and
Right.
almost you cannot do anything to.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, can you hear in the back? Yeah.
Okay.
So this is terrible, right? This is management theory X, right? Where you keep pointing out what people are not doing well, they'll get motivated to do better, right? It doesn't work. Right? But people who do that are also suffering from what? That. And what they tend to do, by directing the critic at another person, they spare themselves their suffering. Right? They project that lack of worth into another person. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So she projects and you projectively identify with.
I take it all.
That's what people, I mean, especially if you're an employee,
Yeah.
you're reporting to her,
Yeah.
So you take it on, you suffered from it for how long?
Half years, and I try very hard to fulfill everything she requests,
Yeah.
and try for half years, and then I left.
5.5, did you say?
Just a half year,
Half
6
year.
months.
And then you quit the job?
Yeah.
Okay, good idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Now, is there someone else in your life today in relation to which you feel less than? Or we can go back to that traumatic 6-month period and take one situation that, when you think about, puts you back in that complex.
Oh, yeah. I feel being paralyzed when I talk about this incident.
You do?
Yeah.
You do.
I just feel I can't move.
Yeah. Tell me one situation in which it was pretty bad. Remember one day, one interaction, you might have even cried.
I want to cry, but I just hold all back.
Hold everything
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
And I think she keep telling me that you're not doing good, you're not doing good. The whole conversation, and then when I try to explain, but she just ping pong any other. I can't escape.
Yeah.
I just feel like at the edge of a cliff. Yeah.
Yeah. The feelings are coming up now, right? Can you?
Yeah, just very bumping here, very fast.
So I want you to notice where it makes you feel bad in the body.
Where? Here.
Yeah, no?
Here.
Yeah. So of course it makes you feel bad. It's so overwhelming that the brain stem is also getting what? Overwhelmed by the emotion, right? So feeling bad is an emotion. We're going to start there. And any unpleasant emotion like sadness or fear has that underlying layer of not feeling good. So that's what we run away from. Our brains run. So if we can develop a capacity for that, then the emotion that's more differentiated, like lack of worth, shame, etc., becomes a little more tolerable. So just notice how bad it feels. Yeah. And you might even imagine making a sound that expresses it. So, like, something like that. You don't have to do it.
I imagine I just making it sound like a cow.
The pain.
Not the pain, like an angry cow.
I know you can do that,
Yeah.
but you will be getting away from the feeling. You need to do that too. At some point, you also need to work with anger, and if that's what you want to work with, but I would recommend that we continue to work with the other thing, because you're doing SC training, right?
Yeah.
So you can growl like a tiger all that you want there.
Yeah.
So, but if you have a shame there,
Yeah.
you have to work with that empowerment, but you also have to work with the polarity, not feeling good.
Yeah.
So let's work on that. Yeah. So
Not feeling good here
not feeling good. Yeah.
and here.
Yeah. You know, children, when they don't feel good from not being attended to, define themselves as not good. I feel bad becomes what? I am bad, because my body is what tells me and defines myself, right? So, yeah. So feel that and say, I don't feel good. And then you can say, I'm bad.
I'm not good.
Yeah. So feel that. Yeah.
I'm not good enough.
Not
Maybe
good
I'm
enough.
Not good.
Yeah. Not good enough to be loved. Is that what you said? No. Not good enough? You said something, I didn't hear it.
Not to be loved.
Yeah.
be-
Stay with what you expect. You don't have to repeat. Just feel. What is important is you feel that and you
Yeah.
expand the feeling in your body, right? So.
Not good enough to be respected.
Not good enough to be able to
Being respected.
be respected. So lack of respect turns into, from the other becomes I don't deserve respect. That's another way of describing it. So as she senses that she doesn't feel good from the interaction of the moss, she can tolerate it, then she can put different words to it to differentiate it more and more, right? So
Yes, not just angry. Not just angry.
yeah. Yeah.
Not just hate. Not just hate her. Hate her. Not just hate.
Can I hatred?
Hate.
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 Okay. Hate, okay. Okay.
But still feeling.
Yeah, let it expand. The whole idea is that the more you can allow your body to experience it, the more bearable it will be here. And then the more your cognition and behavior can change in relation to the situation. That's what research shows us, right? So when people can tolerate the emotion, by embodying it more, the cognition and behavior in relation to the situation changes for the better. That's the research we have, right? So, yeah. So cognitive therapy, behavioral therapy can benefit by including the emotional embodiment piece more. Yeah. So
Most expand to shoulder. Expand more.
better or?
Better.
Better, yeah. So things open up more. She's also tracking that when she can tolerate things here, the reason why it feels better here is, but when you're trying to trap the emotion, close it down and make it go away, we kind of often start to what? Shut down in the extremities, right? So, yeah. So then if you can tolerate it here, it opens up here, so, and the pain might expand, but then it'll be more tolerable. So again, going back to the situation to bring up the emotion. So you have to go back to the situation and think about the details of the situation to bring it up more. As you think of the situation, I'm going to have you do something. I'm going to have you put one hand on your heart and one hand just above the belly button. Not on the belly button, but the lowest finger is, the belly button is below the lowest finger. You see that? Here's my belly button.
Yeah.
And then my hand is above it. Exactly.
Above.
So that's where your large intestine is. So I'm connecting the heart to the large intestine. I'll tell you why later. So now let's go back to the situation. I'll also do that. So. Yeah. So something's starting to come up, right? We're working with the deeper energetic defenses this way, Because we can also form defenses. When the hurt is so much, we don't form defenses only in the body that goes into the coffin, but the other body that goes, I don't know where it goes, but another body, right? And so you work with that. When the more the hurt, the more the defense is on an energetic level. So this is one way of working with one layer of energy. I don't want to go into the details, but so what's coming up?
I feel less tight on my neck.
Right. So things are regulating more.
Yeah. And soften.
Yeah.
A bit in the chest.
Right. So when you just use this, it will regulate your body. It's based on a model of energy regulation. Now, noticing that, I want you to go back and think about that situation, that day when she was what?
Yeah.
Non-stop.
Yeah.
Right? So let's go back there. Close your eyes. Right. So. And noticing where it starts to hurt, where it starts to feel bad. Yeah, noticing that.
Yeah.
You're putting your hand there. Yeah, put your hand where it...
In the stomach.
Yeah, stomach. Just put your hand there where you had it. Yeah, so it starts to open up here. And putting a sound to it, the unpleasantness of it. That's how she made your body feel. Yeah, yeah. Feeling not deserving is such a painful thing, right? What does it mean for the organism? It cannot survive. It cannot get support anywhere, right? The well-being it's predicting is very low. So that must hurt. Yeah. Again, a sound.
That part feel better, but the hands not feeling good. The hands are not feeling good.
So noticing that the hands don't feel good. So it's expanding from here to feeling bad. It's here. Yeah. So just keep her in your mind so that what you're feeling here is related to her. Right?
I have a strong drive that I want to push her away.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense.
I feel my hands like shaking.
Yeah, yeah. So it makes sense to push that person away, but continue to focus on what wants to make you push her away. the bad feeling, because she
She's
clearly did that.
disgusting. She's disgusting.
I know, but how does it make you feel bad in your body?
My face
No, feel the disgust. Yeah, feel the disgust.
here.
Yeah, feel the
Here.
disgust. Yeah, so shame feels like that, no? Right? What is shame but self-disgust? Right? So let's feel that together. So now she was able to push her away. She walked out of the job. Right? So that's why I'm not going toward the defensive response of pushing her away now. Because I'm working with the underlying vulnerability, right? So, yeah. In a way, she also pushes people away when in contact, right? Or avoid. So if she can feel it and tolerate it, then perhaps she can feel that and come into contact. And even though part of her is blocking, a part of it can receive contact, and that can change the whole thing, which is probably what is happening in a relationship, right? So the disgust you were feeling, can you make a sound and feel the disgust in your body? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and feel it in your body. Yeah, and tell me all the places you can feel it in. Yeah.
I feel here.
Yeah. There.
Here.
Yeah. And?
Especially here.
Yeah.
Lots of activation.
Yeah, and doesn't feel good, does it?
And here.
Doesn't feel good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, notice that. It doesn't feel good.
And my spine.
Yeah, so it's on deeper too. So the spine starts to open up. So when you start to tolerate, build capacity in the outside, the spine can also, interior regions can open up and show it. So can you say, I am disgusting?
I don't want to say.
I know.
But starting some feedback in my body.
I know. But at least feel it. Feel the disgust and how it doesn't feel good in your body. Whether you relate it to yourself or to your boss, it's important to develop a capacity for it. Right? It's a very primary emotion, disgust. When it's directed at yourself, it is shame. Yeah, you can think of it that way. Now, feeling that in relation to the other person, getting angry, pushing away, all those pieces she has to perhaps do. But I'm kind of keeping her in this in the emotion of self-rejection, right? That when I feel that I'm not deserving enough to relate, then I'm rejecting myself, right? So you can think of it in different ways. So where are you now?
I'm thinking about your statement.
Yeah.
I'm disgusting.
Which statement? I'm disgusting.
I'm disgusting.
Yeah. So think about it and look at other people and see what you feel.
A bit ambivalent, a bit ambivalent.
Yeah.
Some parts I know that is not true.
Yeah, but notice what is difficult. So we're going toward the difficulty. When you look at people,
You mean I sense the difficulty
in the body,
inside?
when you look at them, yeah.
I use efforts to fix my eyes on them.
Yeah.
Although
But see, your body's having a hard time. So notice that, the body is doing that. So it's not having a good time inside, it's coming into contact. So, yeah. But that's what we wanted to work with in any case. So you can say, I don't feel good looking at you, you can tell them.
Yeah, I don't feel good.
Yeah. My body doesn't feel good looking at you.
Okay. My body doesn't feel good when I look at you.
Here and where else?
The neck.
The back, in the brain. The brain is getting overwhelmed.
The brain and the spine.
The spine, it's so deep. So, and where else does it feel bad if you allow it to come out?
You feel better?
No, where else does it feel so bad when you allow the spine to come out of the spine to go into your body?
The eye.
The eyes, yeah, difficult. Here?
The heart.
Yeah, of course, where else? Yeah.
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 It doesn't feel good. Yeah.
Doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
So continue to expand it in your body. Now, we could have started here. We didn't have to go toward the boss and the shame. We could have just used group as a trigger, right? But we went the way we did. You know how it is. The session just unfolds, Yeah.
Expand to the mouth.
Yeah.
Expand.
Yeah, expands in the mouth,
Yeah. The jaw.
Yeah. But continue to feel that as you look at them, you feel bad in the body. And let's just expand that in the body. And you can even make a sound of pain to go with it. Because it's so painful to come into contact, right? So, therefore, it makes sense to avoid, right? So, and it's such an effort. You have to overcome the resistance to make contact. It's draining. So, yeah. 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 If it's so difficult to make even ordinary contact, think of situations when you need help. It would be even hard, right? Yeah. What about your legs?
I can feel them. I can feel the legs, but they are shaking.
Shaking, yeah. It's also scary, you see that? Yeah. Yeah. So you notice that I'm not trying to take it away from it. I'm just trying to get it to support it from the outside, but also have it supported by expanding her body, right? Through touch or through awareness itself. Look in other places. So. Yeah. And again, look at the group in order to bring it up more. Yeah.
But I'm less afraid of the eyes.
Wonderful. So you made some gain.
Yeah.
So continue to deepen into that feeling. Yeah. You're making progress.
It seems my body reacts
Your body...
more to contact.
Exactly. So notice how afraid your body is. And this, of course, goes back a long time, right? So...
Is that a split between the body and the brain?
Yeah, that's what people do. You know what they do? You can do it in different ways, but one way to do it is to tighten the back of the neck. Mm-hmm. Then you don't feel what is happening in the body and the brain, and vice versa.
Yeah, maybe when I feel less afraid, I just feel, oh yeah, I'm doing good.
Yeah, Feel it, yeah. That you're not good, right?
When I feel less afraid and I feel I'm doing good,
Yeah.
and then less afraid,
Yeah.
maybe this is coping. But I feel like the body is shaking more
Yeah,
when I look
yeah.
at them.
Yeah, because the body doesn't quite trust it.
Really.
It went through all that loneliness when it needed contact. Yeah, so the body remembers that and thinks that is the reality. And so we need to test that reality. How? By burning it in the body, right? Feel it as though it's real, So, I remember a friend of mine told me she got engaged and then she was anxious. And she knew that this is not real. There's no reason for her to be anxious. And she said she stayed with it. It lasted 3 months. She's married happily and she has a child and so on. But she always tells a story that the past feeling, when it comes up, that can override your decision-making process and make things real. So, yeah. So sitting with somebody, feeling it, tolerating it, makes it less real. Yeah. Where are you now?
Dissociate a bit.
Yeah. It is so hard, then you go away. And dissociation is such a common defense strategy for children, right? They can't fight, flee. They freeze and dissociate, right? So, yeah, that makes sense too.
Yeah.
So it is so hard, right? That's why you go toward dissociation. So.
Yeah, I'm thinking how long will it last? How long will it last?
How long will the body feel bad, right?
And what we are going to do when I dissociate.
Yeah. The child doesn't know, because for the child an experience is eternal, right? And when you feel that in the adult too, we will think that because it comes with that experience being recalled. But we know that it will pass, it will change, right? But let's feel that too. Just feel that it will never change. Can you say that?
It will never change? No.
It feels like what I'm feeling now will never go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. It's a common experience. So you make it explicit through words and you let it be. So you don't say what I said, no? That will change. You say, it feels like it will never change. Continue to feel it. So. So there's fear and feeling bad about yourself. Yeah. So makes sense.
Now this part's better.
Better.
But the leg's still shaking.
Yeah. So notice how bad it feels in the legs. As you feel, yeah.
Yeah, really bad.
Really bad.
I just can't control.
Yeah. So you say, I feel so bad in my legs when I look at you.
I feel so bad in my legs when I look at you. It's shaking.
Yeah.
Crazy.
When I think of making contact with you, I feel so bad in my legs.
Yeah, I feel so bad.
Yeah. So, yeah. Awful.
Not really, but weird.
Weird, yeah. 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 It looks very different.
Now the shaking goes to the hands.
Yeah. Yeah, and it feels bad.
I feel bad. Yeah.
You feel bad.
I feel bad because it shifts from the leg to the hands, and it seems endless.
Endless, yeah. It feels endless. Yeah. the suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when you don't have support as a child, the regulation, the body is so dysregulated, right? And that dysregulation, unbearable feeling of it can become an identity. I feel so bad, I am bad. I don't deserve contact. I'm not worthy of support. You can make all these meanings up later. So, which then makes it hard to make contact, right? Because it will bring all of this up. So.
Yeah, I don't feel suffer when I am alone.
Yeah.
But when I look at the group, I feel suffer.
Suffer, no? Yeah. One way to not suffer is to be alone, is it? Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. And the reason why you don't make contact is because you don't want this to come up. Right?
And it's a success now.
But another part of you wants contact. So
Yeah.
it struggles so hard to make contact. It's like walking uphill.
Yeah, I want to fix that.
Yeah, that's why. So you work with this, then it'll be easier to make contact. Yeah. A part of you is protecting you from feeling this that you felt a lot as a child. By, you're walking towards somebody, it's pushing you away from them, right? So you can now tell that part, we are telling that part, look, if we work through this way, then you don't have to push her away. In fact, she can have more contact and have a better life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the idea.
So it seems like my body is facing that way, and my head's just looking that way.
It's okay, because that's the problem with the demonstration, right? You're looking at me.
No, I just think that's a struggle.
Yeah,
a struggle.
Yeah, yeah. You can see the struggle. So, yeah. Can you see the hardship on the body? This is an emotional response. Physical stress of contact or lack of contact, support, is a legitimate emotional experience because it's meaningful, right? It's a meaningful body reaction. So you say, I would like to make contact with you, but it is so hard, as you can see.
Yeah. I would like to make contact with you, but it's so hard for me, for my body.
As you can see, how hard it is for me, for my whole body. Yeah. Watch what's happening to your energy in the resonance. Is it going up or going down?
I think it's too crazy. I think it's too crazy.
Feels crazy. Yeah. It's just crazy, it's confusing. Because deep down we know that we need contact to survive. And then another part says, if you can't make contact, you will not survive, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Seems doesn't make sense.
No?
That's why I feel disgust, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. But when there are no caregivers around you, it's so distressing, it doesn't make sense. Then you make the meaning. It must be my fault.
Yeah, my fault. Being too stressed when I look out.
Yeah.
It seems like, oh, I'm crazy. Why my system is like crazy.
Yeah. You're bad. That's another way of saying I'm bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like shaking in the viscerals.
Yeah, yeah. And feels bad, right?
Feels not comfortable.
Not comfortable. Noticing that. It's a physical hurt. Lack of support is a physical hurt. Yeah. It's a bit more intense because we worked with the energetic defense, right? So it starts to open up more. And it's now, but it's kind of percolating through the different layers of the body, like spine and viscera, legs, and so on. So yeah, so it's more powerful, right? So
My stomach's like twisting.
yeah. Can you make a sound? How bad it feels? Yeah.
But no gas. Not.
No, I'm talking about making a sound because it's emotional, right?
Making sound from.
Yeah, from the stomach. It's a good way to work with psychosomatic symptoms, right? The people don't know, then you get them to make a sound, bring the expression to the face. Can you bring it into your face, how bad it feels? And that way, then you know what it is, right? There's some way in which the face and the throat can interpret a physical symptom, the emotion in it. So, yeah, bring it into your face, express it in your face. Yeah. Feels quite unbearable. Looks unbearable.
It's like explode.
Yeah, it's a lot of energy then. She could explode, she says. Yeah.
But much better now.
Much better, exactly. As you make gain by expanding and tolerating it, the body and the energy starts to feel better. That's the idea. You got it. So.
It seems that I can feel the margins, the skin, the boundary, my mind, and the shape of my body.
Oh, the shape of your body is more defined. Okay. She can feel the skin better, the definition better. So sensing that. So it's more organized. So if you can feel the disintegration, explosion, and tolerate it, it's just an experience in the body, then organization comes, togetherness comes. So I would interpret it as when in the end, in the limit, the brain is predicting that she could even fragment when she continues to come into closer contact with people.
The teeth. The teeth.
Yeah.
Tolerate
in pre and perinatal trauma, I talked about the terror of being annihilated by the world as one theme. There's another theme, which is, I don't think it relates to her, but who knows, is that the whole world will reject me. I'm not worthy. The third is, I will fragment. I'll disintegrate. So I don't know whether it relates to it. It can also come from being left alone in the crib for hours and hours, that there's no interactively regulating adult. So that can also feel like you could just fragment and disappear, right? But more often than not, it comes from early experience. You okay?
Yeah, okay.
You can do it.
Sure.
So look at the people. Can you go to the back and take some pictures from the back of me working? Yeah,
I feel more in myself, not drawn by the group.
more in a self, not being drawn by the group. So. But you're aware of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's give the body time to integrate this. Yeah.
Although there's nervous inside.
No?
Although I also feel nervous.
Nervous.
Inside,
It's okay. Yeah. So bring the mic up a little bit.
Okay. Here?
Yeah.
Okay. But okay.
You're nervous, you're here. Yeah.
Much better.
Much better.
Yeah.
Think of taking your child through that, holding that child through that, so that, and to show her that it's no longer necessary, that you will help her, and you will share with her the suffering she went through, that is now in the way of coming into deeper contact with other people now. Yeah?
We are nervous, but we are good.
We are nervous, but we are good.
We can look at them.
Yeah.
They are not rejecting.
They are not rejecting.
And the little me said, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, you know what to do, no? This is something that you can keep working on, right?
Yeah.
Every time you feel that, when you have time, You can work with it by yourself and with other people, because it's just a relational trauma, right? So it's better to have somebody with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions? You can write to me. You will get my email address, right? And please let Lucia know how you're doing. Watch your dreams and notice how your experience changes, right?
Yeah.
Because the work in a group can be very powerful, especially shame work. This is what it is, right? And relational work in a group can be very powerful because you're working with the whole group, so to speak. Yeah? But also they're supporting you, you know.
Yeah.
And it's an issue that's so universal. So, some of us suffer from it a little more than others, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.